Emma Watson has been targeted by internet trolls on the site which hosted naked celebrity photos.
I was immediately threatened.
The website Emma You On Next shows Watson next to a countdown,
Threatening to release naked photographs of me. It made me so angry. There is one thing I know for certain. It is that this has to stop.
Emma Watson was a breakout star in the Harry Potter series, but unfortunately the industry wasn't kind to this little girl, and as Emma grew up into an adult, she saw how nasty the media could be, taking photos up her skirt, counting down the days until she's barely legal, and even threatening to release inappropriate pictures of her after she calls on gender equality. Emma Watson deserved better, so let's get into it. If you aren't subscribed to the Let's Get Into It podcast, then you're only getting half the tea. For longer videos, deep dives, and of course, more of me, subscribe to the Let's Get Into It podcast listed in the description below. We're going to be talking about actress Emma Watson and what she's gone through during her professional career, because she started off as a child actress and then grew into adulthood, but the entire time she was overly sexualized. Now, Emma Watson is best known for playing the young wizard Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter films. She was born in Paris to British parents who divorced when she was young. She and her brother went to live with their mother in England, and while as a child, she decided she wanted to be an actress. Her desire to act paid off because she invested in classes, in singing lessons, and eventually she was hired to be in one of the biggest films of all time, Harry Potter. Now, Emma Watson knows what it's like to be misrepresented in the media. Since she was just a little girl, the press has scrutinized, dramatized, and twisted every little detail of her life. The British tabloids are even worse than the American tabloids. I feel like the British ones are stuck in the 2000s still, so they try to make it seem like Emma Watson was difficult to work with. For example, there was a rumor that she stormed off the set of This Is the End, and other rumors that she had quit acting altogether because she was so difficult to work with. But this is disgusting because The Sun, a news outlet in the UK, faced criticism for a countdown to Emma Watson's 16th birthday, which was seen as inappropriate and sexualizing a minor. The practice of counting down to a celebrity's birthday, their 18th birthday, would be considered, the time that they are legally allowed to be intimate. Actually, these type of countdowns, like by these different networks, have been highlighted as a form of sexual terrorism and has been associated with the sexualization of young female celebrities. Like, I remember when Bad Baby, turned 18, everyone was rushing to that OnlyFans account. The press tried to convince people that this story about The Sun counting down Emma's 16th birthday was fake, but every article that talks about it being fake has been removed from the internet. So is it fake or is it real? So there's articles claiming that this countdown was fake, yet the articles don't even really exist. Either way, it's disgusting they're trying to talk about a 15-year-old girl this way. Emma Watson has even spoken about the paparazzi and how disgusting they've treated her and other female celebrities. This report writes, Emma Watson has revealed some seriously disturbing news about an incident that happened the day after she turned 18. While she should have been hitting the pub for her first legal drink and relaxing with her mates, Emma Watson had to deal with a creepy cameraman trying to get shots up her skirt. Now, this is just foul. She said, I remember on my 18th birthday, I came out of my 18th birthday party and photographers laid on the pavement and took photographs up my skirt, which were then published on the front page of an English tabloid the next morning. If they had published the photographs 24 hours before, it would have been illegal because she would have been a minor. But she just turned 18, so now the photos are legal. Wow. That is disturbing. Here's a clip of Emma Watson sharing this story in her own words.
I remember, on my 18th birthday, I came out of my 18th birthday party, and photographers lay down on the pavement and took photographs up my skirt, which were then published on the front of the English tabloids the next morning. If they published the photographs 24 hours earlier, they would have been illegal, but because I had turned 18, they were legal. And obviously, Dan and Rupert, who are my male co-stars, don't wear skirts. But I think that's just one example of how my transition into womanhood was dealt very differently by the tabloid press.
She says it all so politely as well. Like, I can't imagine saying all of that and not being full of rage. Emma also spoke about other times she's been discriminated against because she's a woman. Quote, I've had my ass slapped as I've left the room. I felt scared walking home. I don't talk about these experiences much because coming from me, they'll sound like a huge deal, and I don't want this to be about me, but most women I know have experienced it and worse. This is unfortunately how it is. It's so much more perversive than we acknowledge. It shouldn't be acceptable fact of life that women should be afraid. And honestly, kudos to her for standing up for women and acknowledging that and being vulnerable in her own experiences. This person tweeted, if you ever feel sad, just remember that the sun had a countdown to Emma Watson's birthday. Now let's talk about Lindsay Lohan, because she comes into the picture after going on to SNL and playing this skit as Emma's character and making it a little bit sexualized, which is the opposite of what she wants. In a classic SNL sketch from 2014, Lindsay plays Emma Watson's Harry Potter character, who returns from summer vacation with a much bigger set of boobs. While Hermione herself doesn't seem to notice the difference, the students and teachers of Hogwarts certainly can. The sketch uses comedy to present themes such as gender stereotypes and, more precisely, males' behavior in regards to how they react to women and their sexuality. Let's go ahead and take a look at this sketch together.
Harry Potter! Welcome back! Did you have a good summer? We need Hermione. Is she here yet?
I got here hours ago. I've been in the library researching cloaking spells.
Okay, so obviously this is just kind of like, you know, an old play, an old joke, like about her having some whatever, which I can see why it's an SNL skit, but I'm sure Emma Watson was just kind of like, damn, like that poor little character in Harry Potter who just like wants to escape these creeps cannot.
Hello, Hermione. Welcome back. How was your summer? Boring. Nothing happened. Really? Seems like a lot happened.
The sketch uses comedy to highlight social issues that permeate society, that take a real-life situation of a teenage girl going through puberty and exaggerating it. Really, when it comes to Emma Watson, the problem here is that Hermione is even further overtly sexualized. And that makes her really uncomfortable. After her experience as a woman in the spotlight and being treated like this ever since she was a girl, she's now made it an effort to use her platform and speak out and make a difference. Like in 2014, she gave a speech at the United Nations of Women. She spoke about gender inequality and how to fight it. In doing so, she launched the HeForShe initiative, which aims to get men and boys to join the feminist fight for gender equality. Emma made it an important point that in order to reach gender equality, you must stop these harmful and destructive stereotypes of masculinity and behavioral expectations for boys and men, which is kind of like the opposite of what that SNL sketch was trying to do. At just 24 years old, Emma has already been involved in the promotion of girls' education in several different countries and humanitarian efforts. Her HeForShe campaign also aims at mobilizing 1 billion men and boys over the course of 12 months to support gender equality. Because I think a lot of times, like at least where I grew up, like people would say like, no, I'm not a feminist, because they thought like if you're a feminist, like you had to be a woman, but like you don't have to be a woman. It's just like you believe that women have the same rights. Like you don't have to be anti-men to be a feminist, if that makes sense. But even though Emma's doing very well for herself, some people weren't happy about her speech at the UN. Hackers actually threatened to leak nude photos of Emma Watson after her speech. This was in response to the speech she gave at the United Nations, urging men to join the fight of gender equality. In 2014, a website emerged with the countdown and the message, "Emma, you are next," suggesting the release of nude photos of Emma Watson.
Emma Watson has been targeted by internet trolls on the site which hosted naked celebrity photos. The website Emma You Are Next shows Watson next to a countdown with the words "Never forget, the biggest to come thus far" at the bottom of the page. It was created by a user of an image-sharing website that in August posted lewd photos of stars including actress Jennifer Lawrence and model Kate Upton.
That would be so scary to see a website created that was like counting down until your photos were released. Like, how sick do you have to be? The website was later exposed as a hoax that was staged by a group titled Rantic, which claims to be a PR firm working to shut down the website 4chan. So really their like whole move was some PR stunt, I guess, to try to remove another website that they don't like, and it has nothing to do with Emma, yet they're going to use Emma's name and her, I guess, photos they claim they have against her. That honestly sounds very far-fetched in my opinion, but it's real. I mean, that's what they did. It was a photo of Emma Watson like crying with this countdown clock just ticking down to September 24th, 2014. Emma said, "I was raging. It made me so angry. I was like, this is why I have to be doing this. If anything, they were trying to put me off of it. I did the opposite." Emma said, "I knew it was a hoax. I knew the photos did not exist, but I think a lot of people that were close to me knew gender equality was an issue, but didn't think that it was that urgent, that it was a thing of the past." Which I totally get. Maybe people were like, you know, Emma, like, we don't need to worry about gender equality. Like, that's so like 30 years ago. But she made it very clear to everyone it's still a problem. I mean, look at this creepy website that was created about me. So it actually really helped Emma's case. After that, Emma continued to go hard in her efforts to promote gender equality. And she actually launches a free legal advice hotline for women in the workplace. She partnered up with a nonprofit, Rights of Women, to launch a phone line that provides some legal assistance to people in the UK. The resource aims to help women identify sexual harassment in the workplace and to walk through the process of bringing a complaint against an employer. Because I'm sure there's so many instances where women try to do the right thing and then they get fired or they get shamed. So to have a support group along the way, I mean, I'm sure if they realize like, oh, workplace did something illegal, then this group is going to step in. They've kind of been involved. Emma said it's completely staggering to think that this is the only service of its type, given that the research has found that many women, 1 in 2 women, experience sexual harassment in the workplace. So honestly, round of applause to Emma Watson for being able to take such a traumatic experience and to do the right thing. I mean, we talk about a lot of bad celebrities out here. She's gone through a lot of crap, but she's doing really great things about it. She's not like, and you know, encouraging a cycle of like toxicity. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye guys.